Welcome to the next episode of our Holland America Noordam Asia vlog series. Visiting Asia is not for the faint-hearted. In this video, we show you what to expect. Plus we give you a tour of some of the entertainment venues on board. There's more fabulous food, and we get our first taste of the unique dueling pianos. Right then, before we sail away from Laem Chabang and show you what we got up to in Cambodia, come and have a look around some of the entertainment venues on board Noordam. The Rolling Stone Lounge is not only the place for live music from the amazing Rolling Stone Lounge Band, it's also the home of the late night disco, karaoke, various game shows including Call My Bluff, The Game of Love, and of course the mega popular Deal or No Deal, and it also hosts a ballroom dance hour. Billboard on board is the home of the fabulous dueling pianos. It also hosts game shows including Majority Rules, music and general knowledge trivia, and no cruise would be complete without jackpot bingo. Next to Billboard on board is the casino, packed with slot machines and gaming tables. All you need to ask yourself is, do you feel lucky? It was time to sail away from Laem Chabang, so we headed to the Seaview Bar for some sail away cocktails.
then, after another lovely afternoon or early evening on the Seaview deck by the Seaview bar and watching a lovely sunset, it was time for our first speciality restaurant. Now, we booked this cruise with Have It All, and with that you get 2 complimentary speciality restaurant bookings. So we booked Canaletto, we've also booked Pinnacle. We booked more than that actually because we want to try a few more too, don't we?
We do.
But anyway, let's talk all about Canaletto. There's lots of positive things about Canaletto, but it's actually where it is. It's not a separate restaurant, is it? It's part of the Lido buffet. So it's one corner that's just cornered off, which is fine, but you don't get the ambience of a specialty dining area because you can still hear the background noise, can't you, of what's going on in the buffet?
It's sectioned off, but it's still in the buffet.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And maybe we're nitpicking, sounding like we're being a bit snobby, but I think for the full speciality experience, to me, it needs to be a separate enclosed restaurant area.
Yeah, we prefer that.
Like Pinnacle Grill.
Yes, exactly. But that's the only negative thing, because actually the service, Faisal was serving us and he was a great laugh, wasn't he?
He was
Just to say it straight away. And the food was excellent. So I started off with an antipasti. What is it? Antipasti plate, isn't it? Antipasti. I keep thinking pasty.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to see how long it takes her to say antipasti plate.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And which was just delicious. I love all those cold meats. And before that we had some bread, which were the lovely dips, as you can see here, and that was all delicious. You went for the tiger prawns, didn't you?
I had the grilled tiger prawns, which were fabuloso. Still, I'm already Italian. That fabuloso.
You are. Fabuloso.
Is that even a word? I don't know. It is now.
Yes. And then I ordered the ozabuco, which I thought was just going to be risotto because I love risotto. But when it came out, it actually came out with some veal, which I thought, oh no, I just wanted some rice. But actually, the flavours were absolutely fantastic, weren't they? And the meat just fell off the bone, and the risotto was perfect, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Paulie couldn't decide, and then he's like, I know what I'm going to do. I said, what are you going to do? Let me talk about pricing actually before I tell you what Paulie did. As I explained, we had this restaurant with Have It All. However, if you wanted to go again, or if you haven't got the Have It All, it costs $25 per person, plus an 18% service charge. So what did Paul decide to do?
You have to tell him, because I forgot what it was called. I know what I had with it.
You had broiled lobster tails.
Yeah, but there was something else with it, wasn't it? Oh no, it was just broiled, yeah, no. I thought I had like a surf and turf. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me, my brain is fuddled. I had lobster tails. Yes, tails, as in 2 of them.
And how much did it cost?
It cost $18.
19.
Plus, it cost $19 plus an 18% gratuity.
Yeah.
So it was about $22, something like that. But I have to say, it was fabulous.
It was, you said, wasn't it? This is well worth. So that's about what, £15? Would you say?
Well,
16?
once you got the gratuity, I'm probably 17 or 18.
Yeah. But like you say, 2 towels. 2 towels.
2 towels, yeah.
We're really struggling
what I
today,
did
aren't we?
is I picked them up, I dried my face with them, and then I ate them. Because we had 2 towels. Now, what I will say, because you're thinking, oh my God, he's so frivolous. But this is the beauty of having carnival shares.
Yes.
Because we've got carnival shares, and this trip is 2 weeks long, we got $250 on board spend extra just for having the carnival shares.
Yes, that's a good point.
So 22 of them to have a couple of lobster tails or lobster towels, whichever you want.
Yeah.
Was money well spent, I think.
So let us know in the comments if you've got carnival shares, because it's proven for us. We've got our money back over and over again. So do let us know in the comments if you've got them too. So then on to dessert, and I went for the ricotta cheesecake, which was absolutely delicious, and you went for the chocolate tart, didn't you?
I went for the chocolate tart, and I have to say it was chocolatey and delicious.
Yeah. In
every way. It was like a pastry tart full of chocolate goodfulness.
But so overall, the food and the service was superb. The only nitpicky thing we say is obviously the sort of location. So by the time we'd eaten and we were just full to the gunnels, weren't we? we decided just to have a one for the road in the Ocean View Bar, which is becoming, I think, one of our favourite places to sit, isn't it? With a fabulous service from JR, as you can see here, such a lovely guy.
Yeah, the beauty of that bar is it's always quite quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
Right then, let me show you all around the Ocean Bar, which is one of our favourite spots on the ship. Fabulous service, fabulous space, and as you can see, lots of comfortable seating. And they also have a band playing here sometimes, and it just goes all the way around the pretty little atrium, as you can see here. We tend to sit over this side because it's a little bit quieter, so we can just sit and chat and just chill out. As you can see, Mr. Paulie Morgan's already there. But another great space on Noordam, isn't it, Paulie?
Fabulous, yes, we really like it here.
Yeah, we do. And like you say, all these extra either seats or sofas, which is always a bonus.
If you
on
want
occasion they do have a little bit of smooth jazz or something like that, but it's very unobtrusive.
Yes.
But when we were in there, it was just a little tiny bit of background music playing, which you could hardly hear, and the seating's comfortable.
It is very
comfortable. The service is extra. The service is extra. Service is excellent. It's extraordinary.
It is.
What am I doing? I've gone mad.
Right then, good morning from Sihanoukville.
That's easy for you to say. It might be called that, it could be called something else.
So we're in Cambodia.
We are.
So we've just arrived, we've literally just docked, and this is the picturesque view for today. As you can see, it's just the tug central, and lots and lots of fishing boats coming in and out.
Dirty
I know.
I mean, I'm not sure if it would be a good marketing ploy, but they could have called this cruise the Ugly Ports of Asia.
Exactly. But it is the gateway to finding out more about it. But yes, lots of rubbish there in the water. But let's see what our day in Sihanoukville is going to be like.
Let's go.
But first we're going to head to the buffet and grab some breakfast.
We are. We were welcomed to yet another unattractive port in Asia by some wonderful local Cambodian musicians.
Right then, so our excursion that we took for Sihanoukville in Cambodia was called Sihanoukville and Environs, and it basically took us to 4 different areas of Sihanoukville in Cambodia, which I think it really covered a lot of aspects of Cambodian life. Would you agree?
It really did give you a proper good insight. I'm not going to try and say what she said, so I'll just leave it to Carol to say that word, and then I won't get it wrong.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 8:30 p.m. Good morning. Number 18. Thank you. So that's the gang that was serenading us when we came in earlier. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Morning.
Morning. We've got the disco bus. The disco bus. Look at that. Oh, Paul's got the reclining chair.
First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mao, Mr. Mao. Cambodia has the population of 16 million. In 16 million population in Cambodia. Our Capital city is Phnom Penh. Phnom Penh is the capital city of Cambodia. The currency, the Cambodian currency is real. It's spelled R-I-E-L. But English, but US dollars is commonly used.
As soon as we got on the coach, there's a lovely guy called Mr. Mao, who was our guide for the day, and a lovely Cambodian people, like Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. And when we travelled around last year, they're just so smiley, happy people, aren't they? And he was excellent. Our first stop, as Paul said, was at a local fishing village, and it literally as it says, wasn't it? Just watching the fishermen bringing in obviously all the fish that they got that morning. The kids obviously doing their bit as well. The ladies chopping up all the fish. It was a real good start for the day. You have to be aware when you go on these excursions in Asia that you need to be prepared for not just the visual effects that you're going to see, but the smells.
Yes, it's certainly entertains all of your senses, but what you will get is lots of people smiling at you. The work ethic is second to none. They're all grafting like it's going out of fashion. And it was fascinating to see things like when the fishing boats go out, they've got the boxes full of ice to keep the fish fresh, and seeing the process of these giant blocks of ice going up a conveyor belt, being smashed up by a machine, and then coming out almost like as a fine spray of ice to fill these boxes up. It was worth going there just to see that.
Yeah, that was
but seeing, you know, kids running about and the boats, which looked pretty antiquated as well, but it was just a fascinating insight to how people who rely on the fishing trade live their life.
So it was back on the bus, and our next stop was the beach. Now, I was very interested in seeing the beach in Sihanoukville because I've heard that the beaches are beautiful here, and compared to Pattaya, which if you've missed us talking about Pattaya, then just go back a little bit because we were there the day before and we were a little bit disappointed with the beach. But I must say, in Sihanoukville, we went to Ocotil Beach. Ocotil. There's about 4 different beaches, and the sand was soft. It was what we know of Thailand, really soft, really white sand. it was full of just bars and bars and bars, wasn't it? Which we were there quite earlier at 10 in the morning.
We got there at 10 o'clock, and Mr. Mao said, when you get off the coach, if you see over there's a great big box with ice in, and in there is water, soft drinks, or you can try a local beer. Now, I didn't want to, but Carol made me try a local beer, which is called Anchor.
Yes, it is.
Anchor with a K.
Yes, like Angkor Wat.
Yes. So, and I have to say, it was a very nice beer.
I had a Sprite.
We had a stroll up and down. There was about 700 ladies asking us if we wanted a massage, which was basically just meant you sitting in a seat in the bar, and they would give you a massage.
They would
on
lie
your
on the beach on
which you know. I want a bit more.
I
want a bit more comfort than that. But anyway, we didn't partake in that. But there was lots of vendors, but again, not pushy, which was nice.
Yeah, they'll come and ask you, would you like a massage? If you say no, thank you, then they might have a chat with you. But they're not offended, and just if you're polite and say thank you so much, then they're as good as gold.
But what we didn't say, en route to the beach in 2019. There was a massive investment from the Chinese to build lots of big hotels, casinos, skyscrapery stuff, like it was going out of fashion, and to the point where land prices were just absolutely through the roof. But just as everything started, COVID hit, and when you drive through the city to get to this beach area, the amount of half-finished skyscrapers, and they're not even being worked on now. It's just like they've got to a point, whoever was the investors either ran out of money or changed their mind.
A lot of them got for rent on the front, haven't they?
And it's like, it's a bit like driving through an elephant's graveyard.
Yeah.
It makes you quite sad that you've got this city, which it's not a bad looking city at all. It's quite, there's areas of it you think very traditional, there's areas of it quite modern, but there's a constant reminder
of the empty buildings,
of the impact that COVID had on the planet.
Yes.
With these giant forlorn looking buildings.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure if we were there later in the day, these bars looked like they would be fun. If you love gambling, casinos everywhere, wasn't there? There was just casinos everywhere. So that was quite a good insight into sort of the beach area. And then we were taken to a market. Now the market was called PHSAR LEU, so Pasar Lu market. Now you need to be really ready for exploring Cambodian lifestyle going to this market, because you start off, you've got jewellery, clothes, and then if you go further on into the market you'll find you've got some lovely fresh fruit, very colourful stores with the ladies sat there chatting away, and then you get to the meat section. Now the meat section, we don't want to say too much really, because it's just full of animals that we wouldn't regularly see at a market at home. So you need to be prepared visually for what you see, but also for the smells. And we've been to a lot of markets around the world, and we found this to be probably one of the worst places that we've been to, because the smell was just so rancid, and we felt we had to get out, and it wasn't pleasant to see some of the things that we see. And we don't want to show you loads of horrible pictures here. We'll just show you a little bit of the meat that was on offer, but it was just upsetting to see some of the things.
Yes, and this isn't a market for tourists. This isn't something for tourists. This is a proper market for local people, where all the restaurants go and buy their food, where the locals go and buy their clothes and jewellery, etc., etc. So this isn't one like a shiny thing that's set up to try.
No, it's not like a shopping mall.
And it's like Carol said, it's to say it's an eye opener would be the understatement of the century.
Yeah, but don't let that put you off this excursion, because the excursion was excellent, because it showed us life in Cambodia, and that's what we're here to see. So, but just be aware, if you are going to that market, if you have got a little bit of a fragile stomach, or you don't want to see upsetting things, just don't go into the meat part.
Don't go to the meat section. No.
But we're glad we've seen the market, because it was bustling. It was fun up until that point, wasn't it? Then we all decided, okay, we've had enough now. So it was back on the bus, and we ended up in Wat Krom, which is a lovely Buddhist temple, which was a really nice way to finish the excursion off. Where beautiful buildings with the reclining Buddha, and lots of dogs, cats, and a few monkeys.
A couple of monkeys, yeah. monkeys, yeah. So obviously I got on great there because there was a couple of monkeys
Yeah,
there. But
exactly.
No, it was a very pretty sight. And again, well worth a look, and it was really nice. And
200 monks live there, don't
Yeah.
they? But we only seen one.
We only seen one, and it did make me smile because this monk, and he was a young monk. Now, you have to be a monk for a certain period of time. Every adult has to be a
Male.
monk. Every male adult has to be a monk for a period of time. It's almost like going back to which is before our time, I'm glad to say, but like when you had to do national service and you had to spend so long in like Air Force, army or whatever. And it's like this, and you have to be a monk for, it can be even as little as 7 days.
Yeah.
But it's your sort of, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And this monk came out, and I'd say he was in his 20s, and he came out and he had some ear pods.
Yeah,
in.
he did.
And I'm not sure about the
Well, I'm sure Buddhist says you can listen to music.
I'm not sure what the rules are on that, but he came out and then he saw me looking at him and he went like that and just sort of subtly covered his ear over like I hadn't seen like the pods in his ears. But yeah, it did make me, and I just smiled at him and he smiled back. But yeah, so it was a lovely end. It was a good day. There was definitely some highs and lows, but it was very, very
And Mr.
interesting.
Mao was just lovely.
Oh, we forgot about the
and
best
he
bit.
finished off with some songs.
He said he only knows one song in English. Now, I don't know whether anybody else covered this song, but there's a song called I Love You More Than I Can Say, which I know that Leo Sayer had a hit with, I believe, in the 70s. But Mr. Mao treated us to that version, and then there was a couple of French people on, so he did a song in French as well.
He did.
And then I'm glad to say we got back to the port. You were lovely, Mr. Mao, but 2 songs was enough.
Oh yeah, love you more than I can say. I love you twice, my tomorrow. Oh, love you more than I can say. Love you more than I can say. Love you more than I can say.
Yeah, woo! So that was a really good oversight of Cambodia and Sihanoukville. So we would recommend that excursion, and it was only, how much was it? It was $89.95 each, which is about £72, and we thought that was really good value. So yeah, so that was Cambodia. So back on board, and we decided to pop to the buffet for a bite to eat. You grabbed yourself a large salad and smothered it in sauce.
I had a feta salad with some ranch dressing, and then I had the genius idea, because I'm reinforcing my statement of the dive-in burger bar do the best chips, fries, whatever you'd like to call them, on any cruise ship on planet Earth. So I said, I'm going to go and get some chips to go with my salad, and Carol, Tony and Dan said, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind partaking. So I went and got a big tray full of fries to share between everybody, and it was the perfect accompaniment to my salad.
It was.
What did you have?
I had beef brisket.
Oh.
I fancied, I walked past and they had this lovely bit of beef, and they had some lovely vegetables, and I had a baked potato with a bit of cheese on, and I had some gravy over my vegetables, and it was delicious. We're loving the Lido market.
Yeah,
and the
fun.
food is tasty. It's really good. The service there, with a smile always. So after our lovely snooze, we got up, got showered, and got ready for the evening's entertainment. And we'd arranged to meet Dan and Tony in the buffet at 6 p.m, but we weren't actually hungry, were we?
No, it was still full of chips and feta and salad. So we quickly popped up, said to Dan and Tony, what we're going to do, there's a quiz at 7 o'clock every evening, a music quiz in the billboard on board, which is where the duelling pianos are. Now, we haven't properly seen Megan and Gabe yet. We've walked through, but we haven't managed to catch a full set. So we thought, if we get there early, because you've got where the pianos are, you've got almost like a bar area that goes all the way around with seats in front of, so you've got somewhere to sit your drink, and you're right next to them, which is a real cool place to be. So we thought, if we get there early for the quiz, do the quiz, and then we're ready for our first taste of the dueling pianos. The quiz was
Male icons.
Male icons, and it was name the song, name the artist. There was 33 points available.
There was.
And we got 30 out of 33, which was good enough for the victory.
Well, it was. There was another team that had the same, and she didn't do a tiebreaker, did she?
Said, I don't normally do this, but we're going to call it a draw.
Yes.
So equal first to do me. So that's now 2 wins on the trot in the music quizzes, so unbeaten thus far. It's only when there's subjects outside music that we're rubbish.
And again, we've got some more tulips. You can you see there, we're getting a little collection of our tulips. We've got 4 now.
Yes, we got 4. And then, as we said, we were bang in position, ready for the dueling pianos.
Yes.
And
for their first set.
Yeah. What you get is not only musically are they very good, but they're very knowledgeable. And they play off each other really well, so they're chatting in between songs, they're giving out a few facts and figures of things that you might not have known, which are a lot of the things we
it's
didn't
really interesting.
know. And what were they on for, 45 minutes? They've just gone like that.
It was, yeah. They gave stories of the artists and then the songs and where they were in the Billboard charts, etc. But here's a little taste of what we listened to.
Yeah, well, I guess you say what can make me feel this. Shout it out, come on, my girl, talking about what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart, 'cause I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying, what now? I love you. Clap your hands for making all the keys, everybody. Let me hear it. Darling, it's a party. You sure like a ball. You got it, it's a party.
We thoroughly enjoyed that. And then we decided to go to the World Stage, the Late Show. There's 2 shows every night in the World Stage. And it was a guy called Ben Price. And he is an Australian impersonator and comedian. And we must admit, we sat down to watch the show, and it started off a bit slow and a bit cheesy, didn't it? With jokes we thought, oh, they're sort of quite old-fashioned.
It's jokes that I stopped telling about 20 years ago because they were so old.
But then it did warm up, and I must say he's a very good impersonator, isn't he?
He did some stuff like Homer Simpson, and he did Donald Trump, which obviously really wound some of the Americans and the Canadians up. And who else did he? Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah,
he did some stuff which was good, but then he foolishly said, "Oh, just shout out some names and I'll do impressions of them." But the trouble is, he couldn't do impressions of them.
They were asked to do things, and it went a little bit pear-shaped then, which was a shame.
It was a shame because there was a middle section that was
we were laughing
good.
out loud. It was very good, but then it went off a bit, which was a shame because he just needs
to refine it a bit. And
well, not ask the audience. Why would you ask an audience to do for something that you potentially can't do when you're stood in front of the theatre holds about 500 people?
Yeah.
So why would you do that? So then we left there and we headed to the Oceans Bar for a nightcap and just had one for the road there, didn't we? With the lovely JR, and then we headed off to bed. I think we're not getting to bed. I think we went to bed later than 11, have we, on this cruise so far?
Just rock and roll.
We are, but it's been lovely so far. So stay tuned because we've got a day at sea, and let's see what we get up to then.